Have you ever felt like life is happening to you rather than for you? Like you're rushing from task to task, day to day, but not really moving forward in any meaningful way? That was me until I discovered the concept of living intentionally. In this video, we're going to explore what intentional living really means, why it's become so important in today's noisy digital world, and how you can start taking back control of your life. Let's start with something we all experience, what I call the default mode of living. It's when life feels like it's just happening to you instead of something you're actively choosing. You wake up and before your feet even hit the floor, you're already scrolling your phone, news, messages, social media, someone else's priorities. You get dressed, rush through breakfast or skip it altogether, and you're off. Work, meetings, emails, traffic, errands, notifications buzzing constantly on your phone. And when the day ends, you're exhausted. So you collapse in front of a screen, numbing the noise with Netflix or YouTube until you fall asleep. And then you do it all again the next day. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's that you're stuck in a loop you didn't choose. You're running a routine that was shaped by culture, by pressure, by habit, but not by you. This is the default mode. You're busy, maybe even very busy, but that busyness doesn't feel meaningful. You're always doing, but rarely reflecting. And over time, something starts to feel off. You're productive, but disconnected. You're connected, but distracted. You're moving fast, but you're not sure where you're going. And here's the truth most people don't say out loud. Many of us are reacting, not deciding, reacting to demands, to expectations, to what everyone else is doing, not intentionally deciding what actually matters to us. That's why this shift towards intentional living is so important, because you can't build a meaningful life from the default mode. You have to consciously choose a different way. What does it actually mean to live intentionally? If the default mode is living on autopilot, intentional living is about waking up. It's about choosing, not drifting. Intentional living means taking a step back from the noise and asking, what do I truly value? What kind of life do I want to create? And are my choices, my time, my energy, my focus, aligned with that vision? It's not about being perfect. It's not about productivity hacks or becoming hyper efficient. It's about alignment. It's the difference between a life filled with activity and a life filled with purpose. Here's the key idea. Intentional living is about designing your life around your values instead of reacting to your circumstances. And that doesn't mean throwing away everything and starting over. It means becoming conscious of your decisions, from the small daily habits to the big ones like where you work, how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with. It means asking, am I choosing this or am I just defaulting to what's expected? When you start living with intention, you create space to think. You create clarity about what matters to you. And you begin to align your actions with your own identity, the person you actually want to become. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Because when your life starts reflecting your values, you feel it. You feel more grounded, more peaceful, and more like yourself. Intentional living isn't just a personal development idea. In the world we live in today, it's almost a survival skill. We're surrounded by more information, more noise, more comparison, more distraction than any other time in human history. Our attention is constantly under attack from apps, notifications, media, ads, algorithms, AI. We scroll for hours and call it rest. We chase success without defining what success even means. And we often say yes to things just because we're afraid to miss out, disappoint someone or fall behind. This is not a neutral environment. It pulls you off course fast. Intentional living is what helps you say, this is who I am, this is what matters, this is what I choose. It's what brings you back to your center when the world is trying to pull you in 101 different directions. It doesn't mean you block out the world. It means you move through it with awareness, on your terms, and in a time where most people feel scattered, burnt out, and disconnected. Intentionality is power. It's how you protect your peace, your time, your values, your identity. So how do we actually begin living more intentionally? Because let's be honest, this can feel overwhelming at first, but you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need a new job, a digital detox, or a holiday house on the beach, though we'd all like one of those. You start small, you start aware. Here are 3 things you can do this week, and I mean this week, to begin shifting out of default mode and into a more intentional life. Firstly, ask yourself, what do I truly value? What is really important to me? Set a timer for 15 minutes, grab a pen and paper, and write down the top 5 things that matter most to you. Not what you think should matter, not what you've inherited from society or expectation from family or social media, but what actually does matter to you. Second, audit your time. Now this one is a game changer. For 2 or 3 days, just track how you spend your time, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Not to judge yourself, but to become aware. Because once you see your time clearly, you can start aligning it with your values. If you want a great breakdown on how to actually do this, I highly recommend a video by Ali Abdaal called How to Make Time for Everything, Then Actually Do It. It's simple, clear and practical, and will help you map your time so you can take control of it. I've linked it in the video description below. After you track your time, ask yourself, am I spending my days on what really matters, or just what's shouting the loudest? Because intentional living requires intentional time. Thirdly, and finally, create space for stillness. We're always consuming, always plugged in, and clarity doesn't live in constant noise. So this week, carve out just 10 minutes a day, no phone, no agenda, just quietness, stillness. It could be a quiet walk, it could be journaling, or simply sitting with your thoughts. Stillness is where the real answers show up. Intentional living doesn't start with a planner or a productivity app. It starts with awareness and a willingness to pause and ask, am I living a life that's true to me? That one question can change everything. In the next episode, we'll dive deeper into step 1, clarifying your personal values. This is the foundation of intentional living, and it's a step most people skip, but not you. If this video gave you something to think about, hit the like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss what's coming up. And let me know in the comments, what's one area of your life you'd like to live more intentionally? Let's start the conversation, because intentional living isn't something you do alone. It's something we grow into together. Thank you for watching.